Hi guys, welcome to Stretty News TV. That was a lovely shot of Steve we just seen, so that confirms that he's on with me straight away. And Steve's on. What more can we say? Jesus, I've called this smash and grab win because it literally was. I think I was going to say that we got 3 of us on, and that was probably about the amount of chances that we created. We've now got 4 on. Probably just indicates the bloody goal that went in as well. 1 shot on target in 90 minutes. How clinical are United at the moment? 1-0 win. We said on Thursday, Steve, about it could be close. It could go either way. We didn't give a shit. We don't now. Nobody gives a shit what the fucking performance was like, as long as it came back with 3 points. But as well as Steve, joining me today is Nate, who's finally stopped filming from his car.
Yeah, you like that? That was great. It's good to be on the sitting down, being here.
Yeah. And so there was a comment in that video from your video on Friday about someone telling you to get off the phone. That fucking health and safety's gone mad over YouTube. And regular Pasha's come back. How are we doing, Pasha?
Good, man. Finally, they took the singers off of my country, and my team won. It's a good weekend. It's good. Yeah, it's a wonderful weekend for Iranians and United fans. So.
And obviously you've got the sun as well in the background there. We're freezing our balls off here in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty nice weather, Too bad I got a quiz. I would have been out, trying to talk to some ladies, but unfortunately, I got to stay here to study. Yeah.
Yeah, you make it sound hard, pal. It's not really, not, is it? Anyways, let's get on with it. I think we're going to make this short, obviously, because match of the day is on about 20 minutes' time. Steve's not even asked about watching it. There's only 1 goal, he says. Which there is only 1 goal, but that's the only goal that matters. Fortunately, it wasn't Matt that scores it. He assists it, though. But a whole view, and I'm going to go from start on this, get the lads' opinions on it. Start with the first half, the first 30 minutes. Jesus, we were blowing out of our asses. Every single player was out of position. There was lack of discipline. I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought Liverpool could have trodden on us. They could have had 3 or 4 on us. Luckily for them, they just can't shoot. To be honest, every shot went over the bar or wide. As much as Henderson would have liked to have been counting, got steps into Gerrard's shoe and won the match that way, it just wasn't happening for him. Luckily for us, I criticised Fellaini. I don't think he should have started in that half an hour. He nearly fucking vindicated that fucking decision as well. Jesus Christ. I've said it time and time again. Stick him up front, fine. That's where he's played. He doesn't make tackles up the top. He doesn't need to. That's not his job. Put him in central midfield, becomes a fucking major liability. Clumsy. Well, I can't remember what the fucking my mum fucking used a word for him. A donkey, I think it was the key phrase from my mum about him. He's just so bad at times, and I really feared for us in that first half. I thought if he gets the yellow card, and in all honesty, and I know I said on preview that it was which fucking referee did I say that was supposed to be refereeing this match? I know it wasn't Mark Clattenburg. Can't remember who said was refereeing this match. I got it completely wrong. But Clattenburg, fair play to him. He kept his cards in his pockets. He kept himself quite composed on the amount of fouls that were going in for the match, and at times made the right decisions. In actual facts, at all end. Steve, how would you sum up that first half?
Shit, mate. Liverpool is shit, and I think United were even worse. I agree with you. I think in the first half an hour they cut us open with ease at times, and we're lucky really that Lallana's absolute fucking gash. I mean, we take the piss out of Fellaini. I mean, he is shit, but then you've got Firmino cutting us open again, piece of piss. Milner's not taking chances and going. And I think, like I say, I was pretty happy to get to half time 0-0 because I honestly thought they were a better side first half. I thought United were sloppy most of the way through the game, and I think they were as guilty as us. I honestly think it was just a very, very poor game, and not something we're used to with United and Liverpool. I hope it's not a sign for the future, if I'm being honest, mate. But you said it, smash and grab was completely and that's the double-double over him. 2 seasons running, 2 doubles. So he's not doing bad for a shit manager, is he?
I was going to say this on the basis that someone mentioned before. I spotted it on Twitter before. Can we get rid of Louis van Gaal and only bring him back for fucking the Scousers matches? Because his record's 4-4, isn't it? So, and he seems to have it worked out. I know that the Mata situation last season was a wonder goal for his second. The first one was a decent strike, but we actually played better all over the park that game last season at Anfield. This season, like you said, that first half, we were second best in all departments. Well, like I said, De Gea, apart from in the second half, he had to step up. He didn't really have a shot to test him in the first half, so there was no need for him to step up. Mignolet in the other goal might as well have fucking sat down and read a paper, because there was no fucking attack. I think it took us about 25 minutes to get the ball actually inside the box, and that was literally for seconds, and Rooney passed it back wide. Nate, what's your prediction? What's your thoughts on that first half? I know that me and Steve have covered quite a bit of it, but is there anything else that you could add to that?
Not really. I think the first half just played out. I think when you get these matches where it's all emotion and so much history, yeah, they're 9th, we're 6th. You know, it wasn't a 1-2 like somebody said. You know, from what was it, 2009, first and second place, and we're playing this match. But it's still, obviously, it still brings everything. And I think you just saw sloppy play. Liverpool were less sloppy in the first half, but it is a good thing that they're worse than us, because they should have punished us a couple of times. David De Gea, the fax machine. I mean, how many times are we going to say just how brilliant that fax machine is? And the fact that he's here now that they're getting a registration ban, it just gets better. So David De Gea saves us, and then we obviously went in 0-0 with Liverpool should have been in the lead. And I think if they had gone into the lead, what answer would United have had, either in the first half or coming out of it? Because we just didn't look like we wanted anything. And when you have, in my opinion, when you have Schneiderlin in the back where he should be, but with somebody like Fellaini, Fellaini just goes helter-skelter, and Schneiderlin has to pick up the pace instead of more structured, figuring out where he's going to be. Fellaini's everywhere, and so Schneiderlin comes in. So Schneiderlin, for me, was brilliant in that first half, just at least trying to keep things together. So at least we went into halftime at 0-0.
I found it quite frustrating. I didn't even know if I'd been muted or not then. I found it quite frustrating, though, that we played a lot from the back in the first half, and we put ourselves into a lot of pressure. Chris Smalling, every time he got the ball, was trying to find Young, balls bashing at him, not even in the right place at him, too quickly at him. And I thought, hang on a minute, we've got Schneiderlin, who's supposed to be this player that we could put in there, pass the ball out, he'll turn, he'll move it on. Fellaini, we all know that it just seems to be one thing with Fellaini, and how fucking Liverpool did it cotton on to that fact was the fact that the ball went back to De Gea. De Gea's first plumbing ball was straight at Fellaini. And time after time, he knocked that ball down. And I'm going to be his biggest critic, and there's a lot of United fans out there. You're in the chat box already, slating him. He's not a footballer. He shouldn't be playing United. But he actually did something useful. And it sounds really harsh to say that about a United player, but he did something useful. The ball, he got that ball down. Yes, he was entirely sloppy in that first half. In the second half, he picked it up. He made the passes. He was putting in the runs. He put himself in the places that you want him to put himself in. But Liverpool didn't pick up on that tactically, and I really found that quite frustrating when Newcastle did on Tuesday. They ran at him. They fucking hammered him. They knocked him off the ball. They out-jumped him. Do you think that's something that may be a bit of a frailty in Klopp's sort of thing, Pasha, about not picking up these sort of things that happen in the Premier League quickly?
Yeah, you got to give every single manager time. It takes time to adapt to a side that, Brendan Rodgers invested in and trying to play alongside with Brendan Rodgers players so far. But the thing is, right, I'll tell you something why United was poor, right? It's because of our distribution. The thing with Louis van Gaal is, right, he likes ball playing center backs, and then from the bottom to the top, we were poor in distribution. the thing with Klopp is that when his team is pressed, they don't press just for, they don't just press to play. They press when a player has a ball. So right away, when you have Schneider and you have Fellaini, which is, unfortunately, that's not a center mid position, he doesn't play center, which is a liability, they couldn't get the ball moving. And Smalling's distribution was so horrible that he had to keep lumping it. So if the ball was going always towards Fellaini, right there, you know that we got a problem. We should have been played towards, Ender Herrera trying to get it to final third. But one thing I do want to say, in the first half, what was frustrating is even we saw Ender Herrera playing too many back passes. It's frustrating in the sense that, if you're trying to come to Anfield, I mean, overall in the sense as United fans, whenever we come to Anfield, we always tend to struggle, right? Last season we were with confidence. We came in there and we played some great football. But this season, obviously, with the track record we're having and, the no confidence and stuff like that, you come to Anfield, it was expected that was the way we were going to play, especially when you have Fellaini and Schneider lining up. We don't have that typical, box-to-box midfielder to get the ball from the centerman and bring it up top. That's who we were lacking, And the first half, basically, if there was any other team, if they took their chances, we would have been 2-0 or 3-0 down easily, comfortably in the first half. But they didn't because, as you saw, he played Firmino in the false nine, and he was doing a fantastic job switching in the out wide areas to trick the players as a false nine, but it didn't work because they weren't taking their chances. It's frustrating to see the way we play, but end of the day, it doesn't matter how many shots they had, doesn't matter how many chances they created, a win is a win. And we needed that win, even if it's bad the way we played. Sometimes you just can't complain always about performance, especially win versus the Scouts. So when we needed it, and ironically, we're 7 points behind. We're not going to win the league, but it's just amazing how poor we've been. And if we actually capitalize and we actually play well, imagine where we would have been by now. That's a frustrating thing as a United fan when I watch it. So, yeah, the first half, basically, we got outdone in every single department, as you said. Simple as that.
Yeah, I was going to pick up on the point about that 7 points. Actual facts, when you look at it now, 7 points off the top. And I said this to Nate just before we came on air about fucking how close that is. And I talked Thursday about getting some run of form up and some games in, and what we're on now, third win in a row now, fourth win in a row. You still wish that we'd do that, games against Stoke and Southampton. Not going to be easy, I'm not saying that. But another 6 points on there going into an Arsenal match. They got to come here. They again held by Stoke today, and they could have lost points against Stoke today as well. Stoke had some decent chances. I watched that match as well. But it's really the sort of frailties of the league at the moment that are keeping us up there at the top, and that is the frustrating point. The other frustrating points, and a lot of people mentioned it. A lot of people mentioned it in the chat box before. Imagining players, and we said this on Thursday, and I said, right, well, they've got this X amount of players out for Liverpool. Coutinho, I only came on for the second half, didn't really make the difference. They had sort of players that, you've got like Benteke, Sturridge out. They've got players out. And those players could have made a major difference today for Liverpool, especially with how badly we played in that first half. Second half, I thought we played a lot more confident. There was a lot more conviction in people's passes, a lot more sort of togetherness in the whole team. We sort of gelled a bit more. There was some nice touches and passes coming off. I'm going to go straight onto the goal because apart from that, it was just pretty much us defending. De Gea obviously makes the top class save from Firmino, and then follows it up with his second one. Yes, I can't remember who mentioned it about. It was Nate before about the fax machine incident. That's gonna cost so many millions more. So many teams not being able to have David De Gea in their side, and at times, in actual fact, Petr Cech's done the same for Arsenal today. He's probably earned them a point there. For the goal, I wanted to analyse it in a bit. It was a corner kick, something that Liverpool have been absolutely terrible on all season. Set pieces have been. I think we did take advantage of it, and it was something on Sky Sports afterwards about the corner being tucked short. Mata lost his man quite quickly. He turns, puts the ball in, and we put it in the chat. There's 4 or 5 players around for laying it, and I thought fair play to him to get a header away. Normally he gets either too argy-bargy with people around him or gets out-jumped. He did what he needed to in that situation, stood tall, got his header away. I thought he was quite unlucky to hit the bar. And this is me after being slating him for weeks. Luckily, you've got a striker in Rooney who's going to be on the ball, stood on the 6-yard line. As soon as that ball came back out, hits the roof of the net. I'm not entirely sure my ceiling's still fucking safe after I screamed. My mother's still not impressed at the fact I shouted "you scouse bastards," and I don't think the neighbours are, but I don't give a shit, to be honest. He went in the back of the net. Lads in the fucking... I think Carrick's tweeted something about he ended up 3 rows in front of where he was stood. Yeah, well, that's another debate for another day about safe standing, but fucking he was in there. And there were so many fucking others. Rojo. It's just great to see United players actually mingle with the United fans and getting this whole bit and the frustrations and the booing that fucking Herrera substitution got must have been deafening for those United players that stood in that stand. They must have been going, they really do like him. They've got a fucking point. And they must think that on the training ground, that this guy can play football. Superb. But Jesus Christ, the boos. And eventually he gets towards the touchline, the cheers go up. Phil Jones. What? I'm just still got his picture in my mind there of him all over the place, like X amount of Reds trying to fall all over him. It's just brilliant stuff.
He probably got a couple of our fans injured too.
Well, I've seen X amount of people tweeting, did he get some sort of fucking grin, 2 weeks injury from grinning or something? Steve, what do you make of the goal? Apart from it being the goal, and it was the smash and grab thing that we needed.
Yeah, to be honest, mate, I agree with what you say. Like you say, short corner, Mata's got a phenomenal left foot. Like you say, there was 3 or 4 players round Fellaini. He smacks the bar, and then unmarked in the box with no one around him. On the volley, you want it full to Wayne Rooney, and he puts it away. I was frustrated within the game because anytime we had a corner or a crossing opportunity, obviously Fellaini was in the box. But I think even Pash brought it up. A distribution today was absolutely shocking. And I know you brought up with the reception for Herrera. I thought Herrera was absolutely fucking woeful today. I thought it was one of the poorest games I've seen from a United player. Like, I like digging out Jones and Fellaini and Rooney. And I think Herrera's worth a mention today. I thought he was that bad. But it's against Liverpool. It's a tough arena, Anfield. They're tough games, and you just lay them away, like you said, a smash and grab. But all of us would love to turn Liverpool over 3 and 4-0 and play like Barcelona. But A, we're miles off that, and B, it doesn't really happen against the rivals. So 1-0, I mean, it's a double-double, and nobody cares, do they? But I don't know obviously. If Rooney had to score, I don't think we'd have seen a goal coming. Would Liverpool have scored? I don't think so. I think they had better chances in the first half for me. De Gea was absolute top draw in the second half as always, and like you boys rightly said about 10 minutes ago, I dread to see where United be without De Gea this season yet again. By far the best player. I'd probably go for about 10th.
Yeah, I was thinking, I thought before this match, if we lost this match, and then the confidence trying to bring that into the next couple of matches, we could have seen ourselves 10th before we'd even faced Arsenal. Never mind after Arsenal. So that's that's mental. Nate, any more sort of comments you want to make on that second half? I'm going to wrap up shortly and finish on Pasha's thoughts in a second, but. What more can we say apart from a win's a win?
Well, the tough part with this one is there's nothing much left to say. It was a poor match, both sides. I don't think after the first half, I think Liverpool, if they might have gotten one, they might have gone on to get another couple. Like Pasha said, could have been 2 or 3 down. But I think entering that second half and then De Gea making those saves, once Rooney had scored, they didn't really look like anything was going to come of it. I mean, that's a nervous 10 minutes plus stoppage time for sure. And then we got stuck with what we got stuck with, which was 3 points. Did we deserve it? Did we not? Does it matter? This is the double-double that we wanted. I mean, for me, it's still Van Gaal. I still, what I see from him is what we saw this game. Yeah, we were able to smash and grab, but is there anything left in the tank? What if we had gone down? Would we have found something to come back and get a goal? You know, those are some of the things that I'm left to think about, because the match just didn't give me enough of what I had hoped for, which was at least a United side that was going to go out and do something, and yet it was just too much helter-skelter and that. But listen, it fell to Rooney. He's on fire. 5 goals, 4 matches. 2016 is apparently the year for the White Pele, so let it continue on. I mean, he's going to grab that record. I mean, he's 6 or 7 or however many goals away now. And listen, there was a point I didn't think he'd ever score a goal again, just like all of us. But he's won on, and Van Gaal stuck by him, which you can say what you want about it, but he has, and now we're at where we're at. I still don't think Van Gaal's the man. I still don't think his system or what he's trying to do with this group of players makes any sense, really. But we're at where we're at, and now a couple of points off of 4th from Spurs, 7 points off the top. What more can you ask for? Southampton at home next week, so they seem to be doing pretty well. You know, which United shows up, like you guys said in the preview before, it depends on which United shows up as to what's going to happen next week. But hey, we beat the Scousers again. No complaints from me on a Sunday.
No. And we were talking about Rooney's form in the preview with Steve, and I was talking about can his run form go on? Happily, it falls to him today. Like you say, which United turns up next week might depend on if Rooney gets another couple of chances to score again. Pastor, just to finish on, we've all mentioned about the win's the win, and we love the bit, and match of the day is just about to start over in England. But what would your final thoughts be, apart from the fact that we want to see Rooney go on, we want to see probably a Herrera thingy, and there was the point that we've made in actual fact, a couple of us made without actually saying anything, about what would really happen if we'd have gone down, what the changes make, because you looked at that bench today, and the only players that you could really see that would change a game were either Depay or Mata. Both were switched on, both came on. Yeah. Did they change the game in any real shape? Not really. Obviously, Mata with his assist gives you a bit more, but I think that was justified, that change, because that change was about the fact that Lingard pretty much run out of steam at that point. So, what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts basically is, let me start with the club like Manchester United, and we want to compete in transfer window with the likes of Barca and Real Madrid and stuff. Who wants to join us when you're trying to get world-class players? He's the only world-class player we have in the squad. Only world-class player is the club at Manchester United. And what does that mean? That means back in 2009 era until 2013, when the players were aging in 2008, the underinvestment we did, now we see the big shot that's happening today. You know, it's too much. What I'm trying to say is too much down. You can't always blame the manager for everything. You know. And if we've been investing and stuff like that, we would have had all these youngsters come out and show themselves as the world-class player, you know? Now, if we have only Dave and the fax machine saved us, like Steve said, where would we have been? That's pretty scary if you think of a club as Manchester United, where we're at and how we're talking about the United way, and we're not playing the football we want to. It's because how do I say it? It's just he's trying to force a lot of these players to play the way he wants to do. But a lot of these players just don't, you know, you know what I mean. So my biggest fear right now is going on ahead is that, are we going to keep thinking that, okay, we're going to play this game over and over again until his reign is closed, until it comes to another rebuilding area? Or is he going to from now on start to believe that, okay, I'm going to let these players play their game, but I need to start investing in the defensive aspect, because when we open up, we get conceded. When we defend, we don't score. You get what I mean? It's like the squad, basically what I'm trying to say, is imbalanced. So when you talk about Jesse Lingard and stuff like that, you know, we need better players, you know. And Jesse Lingard is not one of those wingers, man, that, like, when we're not attacking, he doesn't make anything, because we need to be attacking for him to do something. He's not one of those wingers that when he gets the ball and everybody's dull, he's going to make something out of it. He's not direct like Martial is. So it comes back to my point, is that, you know, it's scary to think like a club at United right now, we're struggling so much that we have so much personality issues at the club, too many press negativity at the club, and a lot of these players, there's been rumors I've read in UWS and stuff that some of these players are fed up with it. So hopefully, my biggest thing is now we got to just move on and just finish the season, and somebody else needs to come, because I don't want to see LVG, you know, for next season, in the sense that, because this you know what I mean? It's like we need to go after a manager, because right now everybody's gone. Pep is going to City, right? That's the reason why Soriano and TG are still in their jobs, right? And my biggest thing is, if we do want to finish, if Louis Van Gaal wants to live on a high note, he's got to let these players play. I understand we're going to get conceded on, but just let them play. I understand we have Southampton, I understand we have Chelsea, just let them play. Because end of the day, right, if he leaves on a high note, the fans will appreciate it. That's what I say. And it's just when I watch that game, it's like, this is too conservative. I understand why he's playing like that, but as fans, you know, those fans that play so much and they go, it's too much negativity.
I'm sure he's. I was about to say, I'm sure Baz has finished eventually there with that extremely good point. In actual fact, it's probably points that we've all picked up on over the past few weeks. I'm going to wrap up now, guys, because match of the day is on. We're actually watching Liverpool's fucking really half chances. Luckily, by David save early on. There's that incident we actually got in the box in the first half. But yeah, guys, we hope that you enjoy. I've had a couple of cans tonight. You guys enjoy the rest of the days. The weekend ahead, we'll obviously we'll do the daily topics. Get your comments in below. Please get your comments in. Either do that or tweet us with a comment with your topics that you want to see us talk about. Obviously, rather than just to talk about transfers and stuff. I know we're in transfer season. It's still January. We want to come up with some different pointers, probably expand on some of what Pash talked on there, and obviously lack of investment and stuff like that. So yeah, just get us in some sort of topics to talk about. The lads are all up for making videos and stuff to copy. And Dale did an extra one yesterday. I don't know where that came from. We've combined 11. I'm not entirely sure about this. I'm not all for that. That's like wearing a half and half scarf. But yeah, fair play to him. It's all good content for you guys.
He's a little cheeky Irish guy, bro. He's a little cheeky Irish guy.
Yeah, he's a very smashed Irish guy at the moment. He's been enjoying his time winding up Scousers so much tonight. If you don't want to see his Snapchats. But anyways, guys, I'll let you get off to watching Rojo and the rest in the crowd on Match of the Day. And we will see you again for a preview and obviously the daily videos as well, guys. Come on, guys.